I just realized that we're not recording all this, so I'm just gonna hit record right now. By the way,
Damn.
I mean we're live on Aikado stream. We might as well-
What's the difference?
We're just
It's
all
that's
true.
That's
true.
I'm sorry. I mean, we are so professional and totally plan everything out in advance.
So let's go through our list of talking points for this call. Starting with.
That sounds like a great idea.
Starting with
Number one, Samira is good.
Hot take from Mr. Bronson today.
I don't know about that one.
Okay, we got that one. What's next?
Source.
Okay, hold on. We gotta shout out to Aikado coming top 4 in the Master Runeterra Open. Way to represent the team. Well done.
Yeah.
Oh, also Majin won. Congratulations, Majin.
That was really good.
Thank you.
I like that.
I'm not funny anymore, man. I'm just old. I don't fucking. Welcome to the Runeterra show. People are going to talk about things. I'm going to mute my mic and drink wine now.
And if you think about it, didn't we get like almost the exact same
down.
number of wins? I mean, I went undefeated in Swiss. You lost in Swiss. Imagine. So I don't know.
That might be
Is
why
that
they
true?
call it Swiss. Yeah.
Oh,
No, I
yeah,
have one
you
more
probably
win than you.
You probably- Yeah, I
won in
semis.
semis
I'm
and
a bad
finals.
player, but we both brought
Wash.
the exact same lineup. Our decks were
It was
pretty
cracked.
different as far as like techs, but overall, we brought like the exact same lineup. We brought Sett Karma, Fizz Samira, and then Jack Seraphine. Arguably, like 3 of the best like 5 decks of the format. Crazy what happens when you bring good decks to a tournament.
Yeah.
Yep. Fizz Samira is like super fallen off for like a lot of people, but every time I play the deck, it feels like TF Fizz, where I'm like, okay, I have these cards. None of them individually do anything, but I'm gonna cast this one, and this card seems pretty good here, and then my opponent dies, and it just happens over and over and over and over.
It is
and over
impressive.
Again.
Yeah, I think it's
Like,
my.
There's so many
most
games
winning
where
deck.
like, I go in and I'm there's so many games where it's like it's not that great of a matchup and like my hand kind of sucks, but then you just win, and like at the end it's like, well, it felt like this was really close. It felt like I used almost every card in my hand. Maybe I could have lost this, but then you just keep winning, and it's like, oh, maybe this shit's just broken
every time. Yeah. Maybe this is good.
I feel like. Sorry, go for it.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like after the first week, we're like, oh yeah, blocking Badger Bear shuts down this deck, and then nowadays you really see in these like Demacia decks. And this was like Ashe LeBlanc has a pretty big factor to it, but I think for the most part, a lot of decks that we thought were pretty quote unquote countering, like these small elusive go white decks, particularly off the back of like blocking Badger.
I think we were talking about it last week, right? The evolution of the meta and how we were at like this Ashe LeBlanc point, and I was like, Fizz Samira is going to be the next part because it beats like Ashe LeBlanc, and Ashe LeBlanc is protecting every single deck that beats Fizz Samira, like all the Demacia at least. Jack Seraphine I think still probably beats it, but yeah, no, Fizz Samira is getting protected and it's really fucking strong. So
I don't know about you guys. So I do think that on paper, Leona Samira worked in the lineup more, like in theory. But like, one, I don't want to play that deck because I hate it. And two, like Fizz Samira on paper shouldn't be winning as much as it does, but it does. It do be winning though. And then like, I don't know about you guys, but like I've been giga stomping Ashe LeBlanc. I've lost a few times to it this season.
I really like Ashe LeBlanc, but
I play the decks to beat it.
That's
like,
reasonable. If you're gonna play like a lot of the
yeah.
the PNZ stuff, like you're gonna tend to be a little bit ahead.
I mean,
even those, it's like pretty close to 50 in my opinion.
I need help
so
beating
that's-
Ashe Majin. I need you to help me because Karma and Ashe,
Okay.
I have trouble with that matchup. They play a 3-mana 5/4, and I'm like, oh shit, I guess I lost the game. That's crazy.
How many of the like?
Yeah, maybe I need to
You might
run
have
like
less
more of like the
units than I
3-drop
do.
or something.
Maybe I think you just hope that they
I'm on
don't
a full
draw
set.
that
Full set of those, full
and
set
then
of
you just play
Pickford.
LeBlanc, and then you win.
5/4's the 5/4 is good. You hope that so like the big turning points are like, do
They do,
you have
every
Omen
time.
Hawk on 1? And then it's like, if yes,
Yes,
does it
every
hit
time.
LeBlanc or Ashe? If no, you're like, okay. But if they go Omen Hawk, X3 LeBlanc, you're like, oh, check my hand. No Aftershock. Oh, that feels pretty
sure.
bad.
I want to go back to the Leona Samira because it was the most played deck in the tournament. 5 copies made the top 8. And it has like a very high, it's like the highest win rate, I think, on the ladder right now. And so it's this weird thing where the deck is obviously crushing, doing really well, but I think most of us on this team are still on Fizz Samira, mostly because we just keep winning with it. And so, I'm curious, can you play should we just be playing one over the other? And 2, can you play the Kale version, the non Samira version? Because it also has a very high win rate, and then still play Samira Fizz? Because I don't know. I haven't played any of these Leona decks really. I've gotten beat by them a few times, but I haven't really played with
you
them.
can for sure. You can. I think Samira does definitely add quite a bit to the deck. Being able to throw in your challengers really early on and combining that with the stuns makes your the suite of attacks really, really problematic. Personally, when I pull up into a best of 3 in the gauntlets and tournaments and stuff like that, I look at the lineups and I see Samira Leona and I'm like, what am I going to ban? This is a pretty tricky spot. But I honestly, with Fizz Samira, I think there's a lot of lineups that are just yeah, I'll just play into this. Sometimes it hoes you and you lose, and that's okay. But it feels a lot scarier for me to play against Leona Samira.
Yeah, if you took mine and Aikado's lineup and you swapped out Fizz Samira for Leona Samira, all of a sudden the mirror lineup gets a lot
because
more
it's beating Karma Sett, and the matchups it's a
Yeah.
bit sketchy, but I mean it's beating Karma Sett.
And the Jack Samira deck, Jack Seraphine, that matchup's not easy either. Because you look down at your Make It Rains and all their dudes are X3s and up, and you're like, no. Just got a
I
handful
think
of
I
caustic
spent most
grips
of the
that
day
don't do
banning
shit.
Leona. I think I banned Leona and Deep most of the day, because I just didn't want to play into that shit. But the Leona deck, I don't know, when I watch it, it's doing strong things, but it's incredibly linear. It does one thing, and if you don't have Leona on 5, your deck sucks ass. If you don't have Sun Guardian on 3, your deck kind of sucks. But they always have it, so I don't fucking know.
Just draw, man. You got 5 turns to draw, and you got 4 mulligan slots. What's your problem?
Are you full mulling for fucking Leona in your aggro deck?
I mean, I'll keep a 1 drop.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe that's it. But I don't know. Samira being able to.
They also always have the 1 drop
They have-
Daybreak
He's the
guy.
man.
That deck nut draws every time. I don't know how it happens. But
Yeah, I feel like a lot of decks are really scared of this 6 wide kind of aggro style of decks that we recently just haven't seen any of besides this one deck. There's no more pirate aggro. It's just this one deck that has a bit of burn fervors and can go 6 wide that honestly not a lot of decks can deal with. Whereas I think Fizz Samira definitely has some slower hands, or maybe it's just do nothing until turn 4, play Inferno, play whatever after that, or don't draw Samira, and I feel like the game's a lot slower as well. Whereas, Samira or the Leona version just can go a little bit mid-range, but a lot of times just really just beats you down.
I think a big part of it is you can't really build a go-wide deck right now unless your cards are really bulky, which is what the Leona Samira deck ends up having. All the stuff are 2/2s, 2/3s, whatever, and bigger. Because if you're playing anything, any
Twilight
X1s,
Guardian.
it feels really bad to just get Caustic Rift by every deck.
I noticed that what is that, the Bandle, with the mayor and the grandfather guy that makes the owl and stuff. There's a deck that was one of the top 3 most winning decks on the ladder that was like that. It was just the classic spew units out, and then I forget what they
were playing
combo
King's
it
Court.
with.
It was
The guy
Scathus
that-
who was taking it
That
to the
was
top
it,
of the
yeah.
ladder. I tried it out.
Oh.
It's okay. But it's
Scathus stuff,
Scathus,
yeah.
man.
Cute.
That guy just
Send me a deck
I don't know,
list.
man. He just randomly wins. It's a decent deck, but
Jordan, where are you at right now in this meadow? How are you cracking this bad boy?
So I honestly, I have been struggling this season. I can't make a lineup work. I can't make a deck work on ladder. I'm doing my best out here. I still think Karma Sett's nuts. I think Jack Seraphine's nuts. But trying to find a third deck that I feel comfortable playing with those two is just like straight up not happening. I feel like I'm trying to make an actual control lineup viable, and I'm kind of falling short. Like, I keep hearing that people say, like, we're in a control meta. It's like, no, we're not.
I think there's like 2 people on Twitch chat that keep saying
There's
that.
2 decks.
Okay, so it's the same 2 people.
No, I think it's the same 2 people because I've been when I'm streaming, there's like 2 people that come into my stream like every fucking day and they go, "Oh, bro, control meta every day."
What?
Like,
Where
Bro, I thought we were
where are
in
you
an
getting
illicit meta.
this?
What the fuck?
Yeah,
I like went. I was
probably
like masterruneterra.com.
Karma
top
sets a
winning-
control deck.
Yeah,
It is.
top winning decks, and it's like Samira aggro, normal aggro, Samira aggro.
Hold up.
Samira aggro.
Can we talk?
Other
Discuss this?
deck.
Jason, you don't think
Demacia
Karma
aggro.
Sett's control?
I mean, it
Fine,
is.
it's a
The
combo.
whole
It
point
is.
of the deck, you go to, you wait till turn 10 and you win.
It's like specifically anti-control. It's a combo deck that just crushes
Your
control. deck.
Freljord one is anti-control.
Which is
Any
not good,
set
by the
Karma's
way.
anti-control.
I feel like I got got by Jason. I was like, yeah, Failure Karma. And like, for like a day or two, I was crushing everyone. And then day 3 and 4 did not go so hot.
Kever's still really big on that.
I doubt
I
it.
don't know, man. I'm playing as this deck. They're
Oh,
just
really?
shooting all my things. They're stunning all my stuff. Kind of feels like control to me.
It's more of a control deck than like the Karma Ezreal deck was.
It's no like it's no vengeance.
I will
Jace.
take issue with that a little bit. I agree that this is a control deck, but there is not a difference between this deck and Karma Ezreal, Majin. There is not. It gets to turn 10 and the game ends.
You had to keep more things in your hand for Karma Ezreal. Like
You're
you
right,
had
this
to
one's
actually
better.
craft like
My
your
bad.
combo. This one's just better. You just don't have to. All you have to do
See,
is
Karma
control the
Ez
game and
also
get to
like
turn 10.
made you play like
Like,
bad
that's it.
cards like Static Shock and like you were trying to like make Eye of the Dragon work and like fuck that shit. Karma Set just plays like good cards and then like just wins the fucking game. If you have Karma plus place your bets, your opponent
Yeah.
should just FF. The game's literally over.
It is over.
The game is over. Yeah.
I picked it up.
I can't
Yeah,
believe
I
this
was
deck
gonna
has a
say
50%
like
win rate on ladder.
I'm a hater of Karma. I hate the card. I hate playing the deck. But I picked it up going into this tournament
Ooh.
because I was like, it keeps fitting in. I just need to play it. And like I had played like 3 games of the Freljord version before the tournament, and I played Karma PNZ in the tournament, and that deck fucking is crazy. The deck is just so strong.
Pretty good.
I don't know.
It's like now that it's like super tuned and everything too, it's like not hard.
Yeah, it's a
the deck is
surprisingly
super
straightforward
simple.
deck.
Yeah, it's like I saw Jasensational's tweet actually where he talked about how he's like kind of tired of this Karma Set deck that I'm playing and winning with because it's like it's boring. And I totally agree. Like I was having a lot of fun with it for like 2 or 3
The
days.
first time you go off the corner.
Yeah.
Oh my
like-
god, the dopamine is like insane.
And then I did
Holy-
what?
I was like, I've been waiting for
Then
this
I
my
did
whole
what?
life. And then you realize that like you don't need to craft any kind of game plan except for stay alive and try to keep Karma place your bets if you can. If not, whatever. You cast the first place your bets and you find it later. And then you just do the same thing. And like, yeah, you get to turn 10 and you wait for
And
your
the
opponent to
crazy
realize
thing
that they
about this
lost the
deck
game.
is that like you don't
And like,
your only win con isn't just hitting turn 10. Set Fox on turn 8. Set goes crazy. I thought
Yeah,
Set was like
yeah,
really
yeah.
mid. In this deck, he's crazy. The amount of times I just like suplex shit on like turn 8, it's like it's cool that you thought that you had 2 more turns, but no, this game is over. Like,
Yeah,
oh
no.
god.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of spots where you end up doing the what is it
Showstopper.
called?
Showstopper.
Yeah, you showstopper on like showstopper on 9
Yeah.
is like average. Like showstopper on 8 is absolutely doable.
I was playing against Gwen
it happens
Quinn.
a
They
decent
dropped
amount of
Tiana, and I just nuked
And
their entire board, and it's like, nice try.
Oh no.
Bang. And then like yeah, on turn 10 you get the double showstopper, which people still don't
Where
know
you like
about,
bounce
if
your
you
set and then replay it.
where you like yeah, you get to 12 and then you
So-
bounce your set, you replay
Yeah.
set, and you get another
And
showstopper.
playing it
I definitely did not just learn about that right now.
playing against the deck is so obnoxious
know.
too, because like they had never have to do anything. And then like later on in the game, after like turn 8, like they just can always generate a showstopper. They can always remove your shit.
You have to dump some cards before turn 10.
Well, yeah,
No,
but like
gotta
if
have
you
a
just
clean
draw
hand.
like one card, who cares anyways? Like
No, you can't burn cards.
I was
You
like,
gotta-
I
you
was
gotta keep your
playing
hand
this deck,
clean.
and I was like
you
obsessively.
you
Yeah,
can.
if
I was like
you have Sett,
obsessively
if you have
trying
Sett.
to like keep my hand small enough so that when I draw a whole bunch of cards, it fills up. And then I was like, I have everything. I'm just gonna
It doesn't
keep this
matter.
death mark, this
Yeah.
syncopation, the garbage that Karma made, and it's all good. Like,
You just burn
As long
some
as you
shit.
have
Don't
the-
worry
you need
about it.
3 slots. Get the coin.
I have definitely cast place your bets, burnt 2 cards, and been like, this is great for me.
Yeah.
I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yep.
So yeah, again, shocked that this deck, like, it's on people's radar and stuff, but like, I can't believe it's not performing on ladder. We were the only 2 people running it, or like we were the only 2 people running like the car. There was 3 Karma Setts in top 8 and 3 Jack Seraphines in top 8, and 2 of them were Aikado and me, who are the only people who brought both of them in the same lineup, which like kind of shocked me. I thought that was going to be a very like prevalent.
Yeah, I 100%
like,
when I brought my
base
lineup, I was like,
shell.
this is just like the level 1 lineup, right? Like this is what everyone's going to be on.
It's just the
Um,
lineup.
I cannot
yeah.
win with this Jack Seraphine deck. Like, I just
Oh,
can't
really?
win.
Okay, it's really weird.
That deck's a
deck,
lot of fun.
That deck is scary.
Like, I'm just
I mean,
bad.
that like that. I mean, sometimes you just go BB Caustic Griff and you win, but
That's
like
the only thing I can do.
that
is
deck's tough.
Slam a BB, make a big Caustic Rift, and hope I win. But like everything else, I can't do it, man.
I do think that this BB deck, like a lot of people hate it because of Caustic Riff or hate it because BB or is like blowing you out from like 18 health. This deck's like not easy to play, and you have to like save resources for like your BB turn. It is like a true ass combo deck.
Yeah, no, this deck I actually find
Yeah.
myself enjoying way more than Set Karma, because I have to craft my I have to not die and craft my win condition. And it's like, if you use too many of your resources not dying, then it's like not even like, oh, I don't have the resources in my hand. It's like you just might not have the
I've
resources. to get there,
100% had
period.
games where like it's
which is
young
what happened a lot
survive. I'm
against Karma
alive. It's
Set.
like turn 14, and I look at my like deck tracker, and I'm like, I literally don't have the burn left in my deck to win this game. And it's like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's a fun deck.
So
I'm really enjoying that.
here's a question. If we're talking about that deck, I think people are really split on how much bar goes in the deck. I've seen 0, 1, 2, and 3. So I have seen literally every possible combination of bar for this deck. So where are y'all guys at feeling that one?
Currently 2, because the PNZ decks are running at least 2 copies of Aftershock, basically, with the Tellstone's Aftershock split. So like 2. It's more of a liability in the matchups, especially in like the Karma Set matchup, where you really need everything to be a spell, so you can like, because you have to like OTK them. If the meta pivots away from like the PNZ stuff, or you expect to ban it, then I want to go back up to 3, because it's so good against the decks that can't interact with it.
When you play against Karma Set, are you able to dump enough of your hand without playing a bar? Like, to actually get lethal with your BB?
Yeah, but it's tough. I mean, it usually involves Seraphine plus
I
Spell
think
Stutter, or whatever that
One of the
card's
things
called.
that I really like
Stuttering,
about bar
sputtering.
in this deck
Stuttering.
is that there are some matchups where like you want to have a proactive play, and having proactive plays with this deck can be really fucking hard. So like being able to like just slam Jack on 4, or like slamming like bar on 7, especially in like the mirror, I think it's like really important. So like I'm on 2. I think that this deck already runs enough bricks that I would probably never go to 3. But I like the card a lot. I like just having a proactive play.
Speaking of proactive plays, 2 thumbs up on Jack in this deck. That man does a lot. He looks innocuous, but like he does a lot for you.
Jack is necessary. Like the creating the coin is nice, but also just like the 4/5 body, the forcing an answer, getting you tempo to try to get your other threats down. He even just blocks sometimes. Like he's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm actually curious, like, when you're playing the mirror, how often are you slamming bar on 7? Is it just good? Okay,
Basically always.
because my
yeah,
question
like
is,
pretty
like,
much every time.
if you have, like, Piltov and Tellstones, if you're the first one to go and they play their bar, obviously you can destroy theirs. But
Then you,
if-
yeah.
they have regular Aftershock, and then they Aftershock your thing, and then they slam their bar, and you can't destroy it. Isn't that not good?
Well, they get one action.
It's always the risk, right? Or just gonna
This
not
isn't like
play
the
it.
Bandle bar where like you spam.
I'm just
a
wondering
bunch
if
of
there's
things.
a case where we
afterwards.
can like play it more carefully, but I guess it doesn't really matter
Yeah, I think
at
that
the end of the day.
Yeah, there's also like only 2 copies of Aftershock. It's like
Yeah,
one
no.
Tailstone's,
Well,
one
what I'm
Aftershock.
saying is like the regular Aftershock can hit your bar, but like the Tailstones can't. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
No,
kind
I
of
get
weird
you.
spot.
it's
sure.
it's weird the mirror because like both of you are like setting up for like this big combo turn, right? Both of you want to like
Mhm.
flip Seraphine. But I feel like the best card in the mirror is like literally Jack. I feel like Jack is fucking crazy in the mirror.
Yep,
It is.
Like,
Yeah.
he trades for like 4 cards.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or a hex split.
Honestly, the because of how good Jack is part of why I'm still on 2
Mhm.
Hexploderator in that deck. Like I
Having
need
a one
answers to
card
cards
answer.
like that.
It's your best answer, and it still
I
puts
think
you 2 mana
Hex
behind.
Glitter is really
Yeah.
good because it's a 1 card answer to BB. It's a 1 card answer to Jack. It's
Yeah.
really good in that deck. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan of that deck. I've enjoyed it quite a bit, and it's probably one I'll bring. I don't know. I feel like it has game into like almost everything. Like the hardest matchup is Karma, and like it's a playable. I don't want to play it, but it's a playable matchup.
Yeah. No, it's, God. That is the most like mentally taxing matchup that I played since like Ken in Darkness or something. Like, oh my God, you're just sitting there and you're like, what do I have left in deck? How many champs do they have left? Like, what do I have to? Can I combo them? I have 13 kegs if I put this all. I'm 1 mana short. Like, it's, oh my God. I don't recommend people just, if they're looking for like a deck to put in their lineup for the open rounds and they've maybe played a couple games of this deck, I don't recommend you put it in your lineup.
It will
You have to
it
put a
will
lot of
melt your
time in
brain.
it.
Unless you are actually comfortable on it, is probably not
Yeah.
the place
I think
to
the other
go.
thing that is like you constantly have to be looking at your opponent's Nexus health. At the end of the day, we're a burn deck. And like I've absolutely, people are really worried about like letting me get both combo pieces on board. I've OTK'd people with just Seraphine, I've OTK'd people with just BB. Like you just constantly need to be looking at their Nexus health and like mathing out if you can kill them or not. Because you'll surprise yourself how quickly you can kill them.
I bring it up. Like 1 hit from Jack, and you're like, oh, you're in range. I have said this a lot, or like I like to make jokes about Storm a lot, but this is actually the closest that I've had a deck that feels like Storm, because you have to be like hyper aware of how you're crafting your hand. There's setup that you have to do, right? And then like you have to pick your spot and go for it. And it's kind of like there are other ways to win, but you're kind of comboing everyone. That's basically how you win.
Here's
every
my
single
hot
game.
take about this deck, right? We've raved about it. I think this deck is like really rough, like maybe unplayable if Warning Shot got rotated. I think this deck is a lot worse without Warning Shot.
Oh yeah, you can't kill anybody, dude. If you run into like the Bandle bar deck or whatever that just has like a ton of pings, like you'll never beat that deck.
Yeah.
With Warning Shots
Right, but like,
not
what's
around.
your point?
Yeah, it's not rotating. What are you trying to say?
The point is
saying we should
some
rotate
people cut it from their
Warning
list,
Shot.
and I think that you should run it. I think that it's incredibly good, and like for an innocuous like 0 mana spell, I think it's really fucking good. And I think that like
Okay.
this deck constantly
going
on like
to-
turn 7, 8, I'm predicting, I'm like drawing, I'm like, where's my Warning Shot? Where's my Warning Shot? Where's my Warning Shot?
Mm.
I think some of the lists are even all the way up to 2 now.
I'm gonna be playing.
I think you
two
could be on
or
2
under
today.
if you're like really, if you're like not banning Karma and like there are some matchups you're worried about, but like, bro, if you like double draw Warning Shot against like any of your like sus matchups, it gets bad.
Brutal.
This deck runs a lot of bricks. Like any of your draw in like the early game against a lot of like, like elites or like a lot of this Demacia shit or against Samira Leona. Like there's so many bricks in this deck. I do not want to run 2 Warning Shots unless I'm playing into just Karma.
Or like you have. Yeah. Or you have like Time Trick and you're like, well, okay, can I cast this now? Because if I cast this now, it's like tempo positive, or it's like it's good on tempo, but then I can't cast it when I flip Seraphine. And how am I going to get there now? It's like it's a lot of that.
I like
stuff,
the sputtering
all the
though. I
time.
think that sputtering to like make sure that you're flipping Seraphine, I think that's smart. I don't know if two feels like a lot, but I like
I'd be
one.
casting. Two is a lot, but I might be down to try it. I've been casting a lot of
my
like turn 6
experience has been
sputterings.
like I'm just like 7 out of 9 Seraphine. I'm looking at the rummage in my hand, and I'm like, I really don't want to cast this.
There are a lot of times where like the decision that you make is like, do I coin to flip Seraphine or do I cast like Time Trick so I can double coin? Which again, another reason that Jack is really fucking good in the deck is Coin is really good with Seraphine.
Very, very good. Also, like when you have Jack on the board and you play Coral Creatures and you generate Prize Fight, you're like, oh,
Prize Fight, Bilge
really
Tailstones.
nice.
Bilge Tailstones is
That's gonna be a couple
disgusting.
times in tournament. It's very
Mini
good. Yeah.
cakes.
So yeah,
More powder.
we've talked about
Except for
those. I think Ashe is like, I think Ashe lineups, like Ashe and Deep lineups, are like potentially ones that I don't know. I feel like they're kind of scary. Every time that I queue against them, like I'm like, oh, I have good matchups in Ashe, and then I play into Ashe, and it's like sometimes they just like curve out and they play some big things. The 3-mana 5/4 is a broken card. Right now it feels like I don't know. It's a hard deck for me to beat, to be honest.
I really like playing Ashe. Like I'm on Ashe personally, but I don't feel like it has like anything particular that it's like really crushing. I feel like it's just like kind of like flat across the board, slightly above average, and it's gonna be like maybe the random Demacia stuff you're gonna run again into, but like yeah, mostly a pretty flat deck. But it feels good. It feels like you're really competitive into a lot of things.
The existence of Ashe and Deep is
Speaking
like
of the-
why I'm not playing Aatrox right now. I want to play Aatrox, but
Yeah, Bane
I
Trox
want to play
feels
that deck,
bad.
but God, it's so bad in a meta with Ashe and Deep and even Leona Samira.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of fucked matchups.
Yeah.
My take, which I feel like this is relatively common, but I was seeing a lot of people talking to me about it. They're like, "Oh, well, Deep's a Karma Sett counter," and it's like, it is not.
Lies and
It is
slander.
not. Deep might be a Karma Sett counter if you're playing against like a bad Karma Sett player. Then it probably is an actual counter, but like, I don't know. I just like I have gotten rolled by Deep once where they just like went deep on 6 and just
Yeah.
like blasted me. Right? They just did the Deep thing. But like other times you're like, mulligan, 1 karma. We're halfway there. And then you like find the other karma and you're like, I cannot lose now. You just wait till like Maokai flips, you play karma and you just
Okay,
shuffle
but,
in
like,
karmas.
What about when they play Nautilus and you don't have the recall though? And you're just like,
Yeah, well, I do have 3
That's
palms.
unlucky.
okay, but like you
And
have
Sett
the 3
blows
palms,
shit
but
up
here
a
comes
lot.
like 3 8 6 elusives. Like I don't know, man.
Just
Okay,
draw
my
it,
bad, my
dude.
bad.
Sometimes that happens. Yeah, just draw better, bro. Because you don't.
You
need
guys
to
are drawing
cast them,
3 out of your
right, like
5
earlier.
3 out of 5 cards to win this matchup. Huh?
I mean, yes, you have a lot of draw.
They don't just have all their elusive guys. though.
Yeah, and well,
Yeah, the deck also doesn't really play 3.
They don't play
and
3.
Usually
they
they
should
can
definitely play 3.
Because like,
Well, I'm just mean
A
like
lot
they're
of
not
times
gonna
they're
have all.
playing 2.
Yeah, but like if they're tossed, they get put back in the deck, so they draw 'em. Yeah.
Yeah, but not on the turn where they play Nautilus. So you're like, what, turn 8? That's almost turn 10.
like is Mal like I assume Maokai is supposed to be the answer, right?
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
you know, Sett Karma. It's a 3 card combo. Maybe you can get away with just 2, right? Sett and Karma at the very least. Place your bets is pretty mandatory usually, but like you're dumping the cards. I guess you need a double draw champion at that point, but it's just so hard to get rid of the combo before you assemble it because likely it's a slow matchup. There's not a lot of pressure. It's going to mulligan for combo, and then you're not going to lose much.
The other issue is that like I've had games deep into Karma where I don't even double draw Karma. I just get to turn 10, play Karma and Sett, wipe their board
yeah.
and kill them. Like it's like
Yep.
nice Nautilus, boom boom boom, haymaker, bye.
Yeah, offensive concussive palm.
Yeah.
That set card is
Yeah.
pretty good.
It
Yeah.
Karma Sett's turn 10 is better
Oh,
than
yeah, of
Deep's turn
course.
10, which is not a good thing for Deep.
I mean, like, a little bit of advice to anybody playing in the opens. If you're not showing up to beat Karma Sett, you should likely be banning Karma Sett.
Especially if you bring Karma Set.
I think that deck is more beat or ban than
I think it
Samira,
depends.
honestly. I think it's more
I think-
polarized.
I think most lineups should be banning Karma Set.
I think especially if you're looking to bring Karma Set, I think that
Yeah.
that mirror is like the worst mirror that ever. It is
It's
painful.
disgusting.
It is slow. It
I
is
have fun in it.
grueling. It is
oh
terrible.
my God.
I would not wish that on anybody.
Majin over here going, yes, give me more.
yeah, grueling.
I've won this matchup and I've lost this matchup, and I cannot tell you why I've won or why I've lost.
What
I'm not gonna lie.
tell
You
me if
just-
I'm wrong, Majin.
yeah.
Okay, what I've heard is that the way that you win the mirror is you have token on 10. so that you have the first action with flipped karma.
Mhm.
I've heard that just wins you the game.
Well, you just don't.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but like, I honestly, I don't know. I've been winning Ionia mirrors for 3 fucking years, and I can never tell you why. Like, I just always win Ionia mirrors.
Like if you have token on 10, you do your thing. You put the showstopper on stack, but then you recall the showstopper target, and then you fill stack, and then use showstopper, and then it's like whoever
Ionia,
has more
baby.
resources.
Okay, so anyways, let's help the
Very
people
dumb.
here that don't want to
Face.
play Ionia. What is like your nightmare lineup? What's the lineup that someone's like, I'm gonna come and fuck Karma up all day on Saturday? What's
I
that
mean,
one?
you
Okay.
can just bring 9 Stony Suppressors. Like, that's always an
You should
option.
no, that card's so bad.
Alright.
It's so, yes, you should. All of you should bring
I have
9
a theory.
Stony suppressors.
I have a theory. Okay,
reopen.
I think Stony Suppressor
I wanna
is
hear
actually
this.
a viable like counter to these spell decks, but I think the big mistake people make is they play their Stony Suppressor on turn 2 and they insta lose the game because they have a 1/3 on the board.
And like, you don't have to play around their combat tricks or rallies anymore.
It's
because
also
they can't
true.
fucking cast
It is
them.
kind of funny.
I think
It's like, okay, go ahead.
Go for it. I was gonna answer the question. But... Okay. In my opinion, something like Samira, Leona, maybe like Gwen Quinn, like those are at least at the very probably some of the worst matchups for Sett Karma. It can still fail. Like there's always that risk. Like especially Gwen Quinn, if you don't draw exactly Quinn and maybe Gwen and Quinn, just because they're very hard to remove for that deck, it can falter a little bit. But at the very least, something containing those 2 decks can be quite difficult.
I wouldn't.
I don't think Gwen Quinn is a good deck. People keep
No,
telling
but
not draw.
it's
I think that
pretty good
deck
against
is-
Karma
It's
set.
not.
it's not.
I think it
People
is,
keep
really.
telling me that deck beats me, and I don't lose to that deck with Karma Set. Like
They just press the button, and sometimes
I
I don't
played
have
a-
it, and I lose,
Yeah.
which
Well,
is
you
more
should
than
have
against
it
other
more.
I
decks
played a lot
where I
of,
just don't lose.
You kind of need to draw Foyer and both your champions with a rally,
My
but
problem
if
with
they
that
have, it's
deck,
pretty strong.
you have to draw Foyer or their deck sucks. But if you draw the second Foyer, it's so bad. The second Foyer is
It's really
you can
bad,
also
yeah.
just like you're talking about how Gwen is so hard to remove. I have a 4/5 challenger.
So I mean, sometimes you jam a 4/5
The next
challenger,
turn.
and then it gets cataclysmed, and
It
it's
gets
like, oh
cataclysmed.
fuck, wait, what happened?
Yeah, I'll stand by. I have like a shitload of Karma Set reps. There's only a couple things I don't want to see on the other side. Leona Samira. I don't want to see any deck that plays Cataclysm, because those are the ones where they can get you. Most decks, it's like, I'm probably just going to win, but the Cataclysm decks can get you, and sometimes they just check you and you just don't have it. And so I don't like to see those. And the other thing I don't want to see is I don't want to see Freljord Karma Set in the mirror, because they do you the thing on turn 8, and you're like, ah.
okay. But Maj,
Some
we're
other,
trying
also-
to,
okay, so
we're trying to recommend things for people who
We're trying to build a
don't hate
lineup.
themselves.
So one thing I'll
Oh.
say,
Okay.
Right, who don't want to play Ionia. No pink.
Okay.
Imagine pink
You
is gone
have
as a
to-
color
no
for a
pink.
minute. No pink.
Okay, you have to start with Leona Samira.
Yes.
It's probably currently the like quotation mark best deck in the format. It's just got like an incredible matchup table, and it's really good into Karma Set and stuff. If you really want to be a pain in the ass, you can run Puff Caps, which is like not great, period,
But it's
but
funny.
really good into Karma Set sometimes. And then like if you could run a Varus deck, like an Akshan Varus, but I don't know, it hasn't quite been like doing the thing as much
You
anymore.
want to take your chances, like Ashe LeBlanc. If you tech it, 3 rally cards, 3 reckless Trifarians, you're going to have some
Yeah.
pretty nut hands. Where
What
you
about,
just
like,
beat the hell
Lurk?
out of them as well?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Lurk is okay.
then you're stuck playing Lurk.
Your
Yeah.
removal lines up okay as well.
You're stuck playing Lurk, and like the thing about Karma Set is like they have dudes, like
I don't know. I'm pretty
Which are good.
confirmed. Like I'm pretty sure
maybe,
Lurk
like-
is like one of the better answers. Like
Can't
You think
be.
so?
Maybe like just mono Demacia as
Elites,
well.
yeah.
Wide units, spew stats.
Well, I don't play
Mono
mono
Demacia can also
Demacia.
get there.
Like
yeah.
when you get good draws with the scout lad, then you can definitely run people over. The tough scout.
Oh, yeah,
for
Curse.
Ranger Knight defect.
Yeah. Ranger Knight.
Oh yeah, that is like the entire that's the entire matchup.
You scout
Like,
attack with Jarvan.
I was streaming and then you don't get scout attack. I was streaming
Oh, you don't?
Karma Set today or whatever, and I kept.
You do.
I thought it doesn't let you have scout though if Jarvan comes in.
I'm sure you do, right?
Okay, because
Oh,
I've
now I
done
have to
it
test
and I
Alright.
didn't get
I
scout.
have no idea. I'm just kind of spewing.
So like I had Hex Splitterator and I was up against Vaintrox and I was like, oh, bet we're keeping Hex Splitterator for the 4-3. And someone in chat was like, I thought Hex Splitterator was for Aatrox. And I was like, I don't give a fuck about Aatrox.
Aatrox isn't scary, man.
He attacks one time.
Aatrox loses the game. They play World Ender. You tag out Aatrox and like you literally just win the game on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that 4-3 man, that dude's
No, I think
scary.
like Demacia is like a reasonable way to go. I think Gwen Quinn is it's just a bad deck. I think that deck is just terrible. I think it's so draw dependent.
I still don't. I don't.
I
Like
think
it. I'm a huge hater.
I think people are bad
it
at
does
playing
beat
into
me
this
sometimes.
deck. I think that something you can do that like kind of crushes the deck is if you don't kill their early Hallowed units, then when Gwen attacks on turn 4, she's a 3/4, and you can block a 3/4. I think there's a lot of like cute things that you can do against this deck, and like if they don't draw Foyer, their deck is ass. I wouldn't suggest anybody play that deck, but sometimes it gets there. It's like a strong thing. But
I put a lot of time into Gwen Quinn.
Yeah.
What a waste, man.
I didn't like. I played it and I was like, this feels like really, really
Like,
bad.
I spent a long time. I was
sometimes
like, I gotta tune this. I'm gonna put this little tech card in. I got all the saucy little stuff in here, and then it's still not working, man. Like, I don't know.
the other
Sometimes
cope
it do
is
just
that,
run
like
over.
people think that Gwen Quinn beats Fizz Samira, and I don't think it beats Fizz Samira. I've played that matchup a lot, and I think that it just folds to a lot of stuff. And once again, All Out blocks Gwen really fucking well, and it just I just absolutely ruined their
All
day.
Out's an incredible
I wouldn't bring that deck. I wouldn't bring it.
You can tech it for sure. Like, I was playing Condemns in my list, and it's really like the matchup's pretty good.
Oh, really?
But I mean, yeah, like it does still like can be kind of scary.
Back on the things to bring to beat Sett Karma, I really don't like to see allow EJ4. Their
really
units
like
are
that
too
deck, by the
big,
way.
and they run 3 copies of Cataclysm, and nothing dies to Mystic Shot, of which I run 6. And so like they just go like 3 drop, and you're like, I'll play my own, and then they go Alawi, and I'm like, oh no, right? And they maybe you like throw Hex Splitterator because you opened it, and then they just new sharps at you, and you're like, oh, this is not going well. And then if you ever like tap out or whatever, they just Cataclysm you, and their Alawi hits you for 18. Also the threat of like big tentacle, Nagiki Boros or whatever, is pretty scary, because if it hits the board and they get the thing, then you like there's nothing you can do. And sometimes it's like, oh, I could like tap out to make this combat like pretty good for me, but if I do that and they just play Nagiki Boros, the tentacle goes from 8 to 10, and then on round start it goes from 10 to 12, and they get the thing, and I'm like, oh, so I guess I can't do that. Like, I don't know if the deck's super good or anything. I'm just telling you things I don't want to see on the other side when I'm playing Sett Karma.
I think that deck's fine. It has a really high win rate on
It's
ladder right
fine.
now. It hits like a fucking Mack truck. And it can beat, like, it has those draws where it just like, it's oops, I win. Like, it does powerful stuff. I don't know if it's like, an amazing deck or anything, but like, it's a legit deck.
Thralls is on the cusp of playability in a Sett Karma. That's something I've seen popping up
I'm
slightly.
not sure Thralls is on
Aren't
the cusp
they
of
playing
playability.
2 or 3?
Okay.
Aftershocks?
I think it beats
That's where
Sett
they're playing
Karma.
Aftershocks, like 2 or
Probably.
3.
Probably
them,
beats Sett Karma. I don't know what else.
Yeah,
it
but
might
Aftershock
be.
doesn't
So,
beat Thralls.
okay, but
by
the
itself.
issue is
They're like, copy,
that
copy, copy,
Thralls
copy,
like
copy.
nowadays like kind of relies on like Draklorn or like doubling something up, and then like Ionia has this really weird card called Tag Out that says, oh, that Thrall you spent all that time on actually isn't going to kill me, and then suddenly it's turn 10 and you lost the game.
Sometimes they don't have it.
Yeah.
It's honestly not that many.
Ban
decks,
Karma Sett. That's
unfortunately.
the world we
There's
live
a-
in. Just ban it.
You should just ban Karma Sett. I think you should just ban it. Yeah. Aikado's got a chat in his stream right now. I noticed top players want more skill equity on bad stat decks that require precise lines to get there. Makes sense. And like, yeah, you're right, but I think you're giving us more credit than we deserve. I think we just want to feel smart.
I don't know about you guys. I want to play the biggest
so
number
many-
deck every season. Like,
I like to play the big brain decks, and I like to feel smart when I lose. I
No.
feel superior.
If I feel
God.
smart, then that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if I actually win or not, right? Like that's you get just as much dopamine.
Mhm.
Yep.
Let's see what else we got going on these days. What everyone's thoughts on the ladder and this whole like this craziness with this new system and like if you had done a lot of winning before, apparently you climb less fast now. Is that like confirmed? Does anyone know?
I haven't even.
I would not be able to explain how it works.
I would like to not get into that drama right now. I've beaten this horse enough. I apologize.
See-
I'm gonna give this a pass.
Okay, well apparently for the uninformed, apparently what happens is like if you did a lot of winning like in previous seasons, then like your hidden MMR or something is like really high, and like you're just kind of like fucked. You're like getting like minus what is it 28?
It's
something?
28. It's plus 15 minus 28. And yes,
Fucking
it's
got him. Fucking got
If
him.
you-
I didn't know anything. I just made that all up. Got Jordan right in there. You like that? Got him. Keep going, bro.
If you had
No.
if you had won more in previous seasons, you have a higher chance to get minus 28.
Yeah, so basically, so people are going
Oh,
to
so you should
number
be,
one on the
like, in
ladder
really good
with like
shape.
a
Yeah, but
55%
that's
win
not a
rate.
thing anymore, right? Like that happened in like the first like 4 days, and like I'm pretty sure rank ones right now have like 65+% win rates. But I haven't played enough ladder because I've been
That's still like
I've been
crazy
grinding.
low, though.
I mean, and it depends.
You could play 500
so
games that win.
My
rate
thought
in
is
time.
I
right.
guess.
My assumption is that they were changing the LP, like sort of like soft ceilings that existed in the game. So like before, once you hit like 150 LP, like your LP gains like went to shit. Right? Didn't matter who you were playing against. It was plus 15, minus 25. Now I think that the idea is that instead of that happening at like 100 LP or 150, I think the idea is that it happens higher. So I think that like some people are going to be able to climb a little bit higher with slightly lower win rates, but I assume that's all going to even out eventually. I haven't played enough ladder because I'm grinding the gauntlets and shit. But so I could be like entirely wrong. I haven't seen like particularly compelling evidence that like shit is like super fucked. Plus this is like a 3-month long season, so we have a little bit of time. But yeah.
wow, defending Riot, classic Aikado.
I mean, it is what it is. After Florent blew my cover earlier, I had to I have to.
Bro, I didn't know you were streaming again. You gotta give me the wink. Like, fucking let me know. I'm with you though. I think Riot doesn't know what they're doing either. You're on it. So I'm really concerned though about like I'm loving these gauntlets, but as soon as I have that second buy, like I'm not gonna play them anymore. Really, like I'll play maybe the Ruthless Rumbles for like if I need testing or something, like for Worlds. But like I don't know, they probably just won't matter really. I won't play them daily like I am now, and that'll kind of suck. And then ladder is also like, I'm like, if I'm going to try and like get a bunch of ladder points, I'm going to do it on the Eternal ladder for 1 month rather than grinding standard for 3 months, which is like kind of just crazy. Also, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, standard is the premier format for 2 months, so it's just practice, right? For like the opens.
Yeah, I guess so. If you think ladder is practice,
I've always thought ladder's practice, and I'm seasonal champion.
I know you fucking love ladder. It hurts me deep.
It's good practice. I don't know why people like think it's not.
I hate ladder.
Yeah, I mean it's not like it's not the be all end all. Like you need a well balanced meal, but like ladder is really really good for becoming intimately familiar with what you're doing.
Sorry, I misspoke.
Against
I
other
hate best of
strategies.
one ladder.
Okay, so now that we have a best of 3 system, you just said you won't play it after it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, I still need stakes,
I heard
bro.
that.
I love poker.
Okay,
you
yeah.
love poker.
Yeah.
Not gonna play for
Jason
funsies.
Florent has never
Absolutely
played
true.
a game of Legends of Runeterra.
I went to a buddy's house.
Mm.
I got invited for a poker night. I sat down and we brought drinks, and I was understanding it was going to be a casual poker night, right? But I sat down. I didn't have anything to do that night, and I was like, "All right, well, what are we going to play?" You're like, "What?" Like, I'm thinking, "What stakes? What blinds?" And they go, "Well, obviously we can't play Texas Hold'em." And I was like,
Goldfish.
"We played limit games all night."
Yeah. Speaking of, I don't play though. How many trophies does everyone have? I just checked. I have like 100.
80. I slacked
I have
off.
99.
Killing it.
I might have 10.
I don't know.
I
And-
have 155. I just got my Prime Glory.
Yeah.
I've played literally
Damn,
every
son.
day because I stream almost
Well
every day. But like even the days off,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Good
I
for
should
you.
probably go in. It's like 2 a.m., bro. I need to go finish my Gauntlet real quick.
Yeah.
It sounds like you guys haven't played much Gauntlet. The like level of competition.
I just lost a lot.
Okay, fair enough.
The level of competition's high. It's like it's higher than
like,
you
I
think.
would say like 80% of the time you're hitting like perennial masters or like seasonals players. Like it's kind of stressful at a certain point.
Absolutely.
Dude, like halfway through before I found like the lineup I was really winning with, I was like getting a little bit burnt out. It's like, dude, playing this shit every single day against like people that are good and it mattering, like kind of is burning me out. And then I found a good
Yeah.
lineup and kept winning, so I was like,
It's tough.
it's fine.
It's a lot.
But it's a lot.
Then you went top 4 to tournament. All that
True.
practice.
But I mean, Majin won.
Not
So I
me.
mean,
That's true. So that YouTube video just posted of like the first couple rounds of the tournament for me. Like the first comment was, "Why did you play in your own tournament?"
Look, we had to rig that thing, okay? We didn't have enough money for the prize pool this time around. We needed Majin to win, okay? We were sus as hell out here. I came back at like 10 o'clock at night. I was like, I wonder who won. Like, zoomed in. It was like, oh shit.
You didn't pay him, right? Like,
Congrats,
I
man.
died.
really, he shouldn't get paid from his own company, right?
Is that right? Is that how that works?
That's how it should work.
Unfortunately, Maturino has the money. I tried
Like,
to
that's
how it should
impose
work?
No.
60% for on tax, but
We
it
don't
wasn't
even
happening.
run the tournament. Someone was like, I was watching the coverage in between rounds, and Boulevard was like, "Do you think Majin paid for his entry?" So I was in the official chat. I was like, "I paid for my entry. I paid for my entry."
wait, you mean I could have signed up without paying? What the fuck? Bro, I'm out here breaking my piggy bank to get the $20 to join the Embark tourney.
That was fun though. It was really nice to play in like a local kind of again, right?
It was
But
like
I don't know,
the
with
old Magic 1Ks at Channel Fireball.
It was like the old Magic 1Ks because like the prize pool got big enough where like top 8ing and stuff, like there's actual money there. And that was really cool because a lot of times, like the couple times I played grassroots tournaments, it's like you're playing for $25 first place. It's like I'd rather do anything else. Like no offense, because it's really hard to get up a prize pool. We know.
Yeah. It is.
But like it's very hard. Yeah. But like I don't want to. I would get to top 8 and just like concede because I didn't want to keep playing. Like I would really rather do anything else in my day, right? Like I could go to the gym or I could keep playing these last 3 rounds. And having actual stakes attached to like grassroots tournaments, the gauntlets feel like they matter. Ruthless Rumble was like kind of try hard.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome. We haven't had anything like this outside of seasonals ever.
Yeah, and then we still haven't hit the first Arena Open, let alone the first Worlds qualifier. Like these are gonna be really fun tournaments. Like they haven't said anything about coverage yet, but like I'm pretty damn sure they're gonna have coverage for day 2 at the very least. And that's cool. Now 64 people make it instead of 32, which is kind of nice. Like more people for the community, get a chance to like kind of get some light shown on them and stuff. Maybe try to become a content creator or whatever. I think all of this is just like fantastic for the game and the community, especially.
One of my worries is that like, I feel like I only saw like top 200, 500 maybe players in the Ruthless Rumble, and like, I get that's good, like because I get to have like really great competition, and I really enjoy that from my perspective. But it's kind of worrying for me from like a game growth perspective. It's like, how come there's no one like shit for me?
I thought they were
play,
gonna have both. I thought they were gonna have both because it is expensive for people that just kind of want to like have fun a little bit more, kind of want to play some fun decks or whatever, and like paying 500 coins to just get smashed immediately is
The
like
Ruthless Rumbles
that's
are
not fun,
supposed
so-
to be like this is like the try hard one.
They're
Like this is
ruthless.
I know for sure.
This
but,
is
like,
the leading
that's
into
the
the
whole
point,
I would-
right?
But
I think 2 days would be better.
I
though.
just like
think
I won't.
I like
Four's
having them
a
4
lot.
days, but like I think either have both running somehow or just have them for 2 days because I'm with Henneky. I don't think it's.
I guess just
sustainable.
my hope was that like more like I don't know, like lower level players would be interested in trying it out at least, especially for the first one.
I think a lot of people have tried it. I've seen a lot of people talk on Twitter and Reddit about it. Not even like competitive people, just like people in the community, which is cool. But I also think that those are not the people that are like buying back in after they lose, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
Which, to be fair, go ahead.
Pushby also said in the chat, he said, "Isn't tiebreakers going to be decided by trophies?" ? Which is a good point, because if that's true, I don't know if that's true. If it is, then like that makes Ruthless Rumble
It's
like
one
really
of the
try hard.
tiebreakers.
No,
for
it's
something.
opponent win
Like, pretty
percentage.
Oh, really?
down.
Okay, so we have like normal tiebreaker stats first.
Wait.
That's
So it's opponent win percentage after, like, if we have like
After
okay,
record.
okay, so like we're gonna need a whole bunch of 9-0s to.
So 9-0s, and then imagine you get the 9-1s, and then it goes to 9-2, and it's like who has the best opponent win percentage. And then if some of those people are tied, we're talking like
Yeah.
2 or 3
I
maybe.
think-
Then
So
it goes.
You're
to-
basically going to end up having to go 9-1.
I think the things that trophies tie breaks for, and no, maybe not. I don't know. I might be making shit up. I'm not gonna say it. I'm probably making shit up. I don't know. I don't know the fucking tiebreakers, bro. Just show up and win.
Well, I mean, most of us are going to have to go 9-1,
Mhm.
except Aikado, who has 100.
And I still have to go 9-1 or whatever. It's just I got one free win. No, it's still 9. At the end of the day, I'm putting 9-1 in the Twitter thread, bro.
That's what I would do.
And then okay, so here's one of the other big issues is like people getting paired up against the same people. I've played every single
that
day.
sucks.
I haven't had that happen once, so I don't know.
I have had it happen
me
literally
too.
every time I've been in Gauntlet.
Interesting.
Literally
I've
every
had it
time.
happen
It seems,
twice.
yeah, it seems like a lot of people. Which I don't know, whatever. That's an easy fix, right? You can fix that. Like I don't know, it's not that big of a deal. I don't think. The thing that I'm more concerned about is in the opens. If you're like 8-0 and you play against someone that's like 0-2 or whatever, 0-1.
It's almost
they
like
said
they've set up
something
their
about that,
fucking
right?
system
So
so
they've
it's made of
talked
match
about
fixing.
how
Sorry, I'm gonna mute
matchmaking
myself.
and like more robust matchmaking is like a high priority. It was literally the first thing on their list of stuff in the competitive announcement.
Yeah.
We have not gotten information since then. We don't know if like day one's going to be open deck list. We don't know if day one's going to have like this matchmaking. Assumingly it's going to have some amount of matchmaking. We'll have to see. Hopefully Ruben will tell us soon. Copium.
I think it's going to be closed. I think day one's going to be closed, and they said like day 2 maybe.
So
open.
day 2
That
is
was my
confirmed
understanding.
open 100%
For now.
And then again, they
Okay.
had it on their list of things that they want to do. Is that they want to have it open, but again, it's like how much of that's actually going to get done before the first open, who fucking knows. But yeah,
I don't particularly care if day 1 is open or not.
Can you switch decks?
It'd be nice, but like,
assumedly
Day one
That's
to
what
day
I've
2?
heard.
I think so, right? I think
Yeah.
it's like a reconfirm into
I
the
thought
lobby
so.
thing,
I
right?
think the way it works
That's how it's
is
always been,
actually
so
like
probably.
they're using the Gauntlet format, but they're actually for the top cuts. They're using the old seasonal system for like the brackets. So they're just gonna port that stuff and you submit the same way.
That makes
So you
sense.
can switch
That was
decks
my
basically, right?
understanding.
also as somebody who's played
Just zoom
a
in.
lot of the
Yeah, which I
gauntlets,
don't love.
I pray to God that the open day 1 is open deck list, because Jesus fucking Christ,
It's not going to be.
I pray that it is. I'm hoping.
We've been told it's not going to be.
Wait, where's that? Where did we get told that?
I thought so. I had read it on Twitter.
I thought they said that as
It
well. I
wasn't
thought they
going
said
to
at
be
least for the
ready,
first
yeah.
one, it wouldn't be. But that's something also
I would
that they're
love
trying
to
work on.
see if that's been like confirmed somewhere.
I think it's one of Ruben's tweets, but I might be.
Runeterra
It's probably
Report tweeted something
misinformation on
back
the
in
internet.
February, which
Anyways,
is 2
though-
months ago.
What do you guys think? Overall, do you like this system more than the last system?
Yeah, I think there were some slight oversights, but
I didn't like it at first, but the fact that Jordan doesn't seem to like it really makes me like it a lot now. Now I'm really tied into this system. I will never give it up for. No, I'm joking. I'm sad that Jordan doesn't seem to like it as much, but the ladder gave him a huge advantage that I wouldn't want to give up either. But I love this format. I think it's fucking fantastic. This is what I always wanted, and like it's gonna get better. That's the thing. Like this is day 1. We haven't even had the first monthly tournament. We're gonna have these every single month. They're gonna make things better. They'll get the open deck list. They'll get the matchmaking thing figured out. Like they'll like tweak all these little things, and I'm like, it's just I don't know. It's so fucking good. I love it. Like I'm actually playing Runeterra
Yeah.
again, which is great.
there was a lot of problems that I think people aren't quite remembering how bad they were on their previous season.
Yeah.
Where it's like you'd play for 3 weeks, you'd spike your way to like 700 LP, and then you're just not allowed to play anymore on your main account. And then like you're practicing for 1 seasonals, so you practice for seasonals, you do whatever you do, and then you don't have another tournament for 3 months. So I just go play Flesh and Blood for like 2 months or something, right? Because like why would I spend my time practicing Runeterra? None of this matters. But now it doesn't feel like that anymore. Now I have
well,
a good amount, right? Like I have gauntlets to give myself the best chance of winning opens. I have an open every single month.
I'm gonna say like
qualifiers. Go ahead.
The seasonals cadence at the end, like it was usually like 10 to 17 days. They've released a new expansion. We played the seasonals, and it'd be pretty quick, or at least balance patch. Sorry. So like there would be a pretty short period where it's like intense, and then we go to the opens. I think we need to see what happens after the open, and we have another month before the next one to see what we're doing with our time, right? Because like.
Well, but I mean, like after the seasonals, there was a month that just didn't matter. We have like a really good patch that like no one gave a fuck about because there was no tournament because there'd be another big patch before another month into a seasonals. This one though, I was looking at it. We're gonna have the open this weekend, and then I think we have 1 weekend of nothing, and then right after that, the new patch hits, and then we have like 2 weeks, and then like the Worlds qualifier. Kind of thing, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then the World's qualifier. So it gets pretty
I'm just saying I want to see more.
It's like 2 weeks go hard, tournament, week off, new patch, go again, which I think is.
I mean, we'll also have to see how heavy the balance patches are versus the variety set patches versus the expansion patches, right?
Yeah.
I also like that this is a big deal. Like everything that they've done for this is like that's a lot of stuff, and it's just really nice getting that like, hey, we're putting in the effort for this. You know what I mean? Like outside of other than just like, okay, here's another year. It's another seasonals. Maybe we'll have worlds, you know, like that would feel like so bad just to have that again. You're like, oh God, I hope we keep doing this. But like, this is like, it's a step in the, well, for me, it's a step in the right direction. And it's just like, it shows that they're like putting in a bunch of time and they're trying to like make it all better. And that
one thing that I think is kind of nice is like the current gameplay loop that I'm seeing is, you know, like, so like for the first like, or for the last like 2.5 weeks, I've been grinding like all these gauntlets and shit. And then, you know, like maybe in a month I'll get like my second prime and I'll have everything ready. And then like, that's just in time for the third season. I can go back to grinding ladder. Like there's a nice like loop there in terms of like getting everything that you need to get. I think that's kind of nice.
For 100%.
Yeah, bro. I stream every day. You know, I gotta have something to do.
I don't know how you do that, bro. I don't know. I streamed for 10 hours on the tournament day, and I was like ready to actually die. And someone was like, Aikado just streamed for 13 hours, and I wasn't even playing the occasion. I was like, shut the fuck up.
I'm just a degenerate, man. It is. You talk about like going to the gym, nah, fam. That
can't do
that's
that.
not me.
We don't do that here.
Okay, kids. Any final thoughts as we're kind of wrapping things up? Pushby, did you ever get your mic working?
No.
Okay.
It appears no.
He said
He was here though.
Yeah, he was here in spirit.
He can hear
Spirit
us.
of Pushby's
He can
always,
hear us. He just told me.
by.
He's typing.
All right, well, I think that's it for us. Let's see. I guess, yeah, this is the last one before the open, hey? So, I mean, I'll see you guys, but everyone listening at home, good luck at the open. If you're looking for deck guides or whatever, we are crapping out a bunch of them on masterruneterra.com. Literally just nonstop, all the top decks, all the winning decks. Go check that stuff out. And also let us know if anyone played in the open, let us know what you guys think of it. If we should be doing more of them. Curious if we could get like a second one in for like the off month, if anyone wants to play that or not.
Subscribe to the YouTube
So
channel.
what?
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, so definitely.
And leave a comment.
If you
And
want
hit
to see
that
more stuff like
notification
this,
bell.
leave a comment. And tell us which famous actor you think Henneky looks like. There's a lot to choose from.
There's
Okay,
like 2.
bye everyone. Take care. See you guys later.